Привет, bratookas! Today, I wanted to share why I became a VTuber and why you should become one too. Because I don't mean oversell it, but it will change your life. Everyone starts content creation for one reason or another. Some people do it for fame. Other people do it for money. Or you have people like me that decide to use it as more of a creative outlet. There's no right or wrong answer for why you should start, just a wrong reason for you. In my case, it was something way more personable. I used to dream of being a software engineer. Wow, sparkle, sparkle. I just love solving puzzles. It made you feel smart, and I just like helping people with code, because if they had a problem and you helped solve it, it felt like you were giving back to the community you were raised around. And quite honestly, it paid pretty well, okay? And it didn't actually require all that much talking. Perfect for the super introverted dino like me who just wanted to hide in his cave all day. But what nobody tells you about a lot of these jobs is that low social interaction doesn't mean zero communication skill required. I'm very much the type to keep everything bottled up. If I got stuck on a project, I'd rather just struggle alone than ask for help because deep down, I was kind of scared I'd be a burden to everybody else. And growing up, well, let's just say talking rarely changed anything for me. If you felt hurt, people kind of just looked the other way. You might text a friend here and there, but you wouldn't hear a peep back from them for like 3 weeks at a time. I learned early that staying quiet was honestly just way safer. Why bother expending the energy to explain what's going on if you knew at the other end of it, this situation would not have changed? In a way, I just ended up internalizing that to mean that I just don't matter. So even when you were given the chance to conversate, you would often avoid it just to avoid maybe even hurting the other person. Cause you didn't want to say something wrong or weird and then they just disliked you. That one simple flaw made it almost impossible for me to work on any sort of a dev team. The only places I could fit in were ones where it only required the input of one person. But if it only required the input of one person, why did I need to be on the team? But then it came to me, a thought. Maybe I can train myself to communicate better. But what exactly is this random arbitrary thing that we call communication? How does one improve this skill? Logically, you would just talk more, right? Talk to more people and you passively increase speechcraft. But I didn't have enough people in my life to practice with. So, I turned to the only place that I could. The internet. At first, I decided to start with video games because they allowed you to on demand summon 3 to 6 random people. The logic was there. My mistake was the game choice. For whatever reason, I thought League of Legends actually would be a good choice. You would think gathering 5 people with the common goal of winning a damn game would make it much easier to find common ground with? Yeah, I have never been so wrong in my life. Holy crap. So the next step was just to try some sort of weird social media thing. Click post and you can find people all over the internet from Brazil to Japan. Being that what I was looking for was a live interaction, what better place to start than on Twitch, the king of live interactions. Only for me to immediately hit another roadblock. It feels like unless you're already a Kai Cenat or like an iShowSpeed, it basically hates you. No hate on them because, they're obviously trying to make money. And of course, I also wasn't really the best streamer, like anyone that first starts, but I figured out pretty quickly that I needed to change course. Eventually, I landed on YouTube. And this whole VTuber thing. I could have been a fleshy and I would have done it anyway, but honestly, whatever these goobers had going on looked way more fun. Behind this cute little avatar, I could basically talk about anything. And if you've been here for a while, you know I settled on video essays and commentary. Random thoughts and ramblings about literally anything. Perfect for somebody trying to improve that communication. Only to immediately hit my second roadblock. See, most of the current, commentary stuff that you would see always ends up being drama rage bait. And I'm not trying to do all that. It's nothing against it, it's just not my cup of tea. Whether or not they deserve it, I'm not trying to give myself the ability to speak to immediately use that skill for something inherently negative. So of course, the first ground rule is that I cannot directly talk about drama. If I'm gonna mention it, it's going to be because it provides a reference point and nothing more. Which brings us now to today. Turns out the answer the whole time was staring me right in the face. Though the views are nice, they don't actually represent whether or not improving at anything at all. What actually mattered is the comment section. Anytime one of you guys left one, it proved that to a degree that I was understood. Whether you agreed or disagreed with what I was saying didn't matter. And that's all I truly cared about. You guys actually showed up. You watched. You made me feel understood. For the first time, I could see direct proof that as a skill, my communication was improving, and that I wasn't just talking into a void or just talking a bunch of hot air. Sometimes you'd send like a super sweet message saying that I made your day, and I'd just be sitting here behind the screen just blushing. Like, oh shit, wait, you for real? Like, actually? But it is because of you that I've grown so much over the last year. But what I found the craziest was actually the knock-on effects that I gained from it. I've met some like really amazing people through this community. Like, I met this one financial advisor, I met someone who's kind of in the same boat as me, just looking to pick up the randomest skills he possibly can. I ended up meeting somebody pretty close that ended up allowing me to find I had a passion for physical hardware as well as just software. Like, I even ended up being goaded into buying this Arduino I have over there in the corner. Video incoming on how I started to learn how to use it. And I ended up learning that I have a love for editing. Because in a way, even though I'm, how you would describe as like, artistically challenged, it did speak to the programmer in me, because every time you see a frame, you kind of just like try to reverse engineer how they did it. But most importantly, I learned how to open up. Being more outgoing is definitely one of those things that never hurt to be able to do. Like, I used to be like super nervous and kind of skittish, especially when I was in a social situation. But then looking back, it's like I can think about all of the people that decided to listen, and it's kind of like they're cheering me on. And then suddenly I can keep going, even get a bit giddy sometimes. So I do want to say, thank you, BRATOOKAAAA. It's kind of crazy how the internet is known as to be like this weird mental health cesspool where everybody just hates each other, but that's only really if you hang out in a lot of these hateful spaces. Like, there are definitely a lot more positives that outweigh the negatives of the internet, I would think, but it's kind of crazy how it's a pretty underrepresented group. Like, how hard you have to go looking for it. But 10 out of 10, very big fan, I would do again. And I would actually recommend that you do too. Even if you don't inherently plan on doing anything with it, it's definitely a really nice creative outlet to have, because it does force you to learn a whole lot of other creative skills. Like, though I'm not the best at it, you have to learn like titles, thumbnails, all that extra stuff, which in a way is kind of just like graphic design, so if you're definitely interested in that, it is really something that you should pick up. So if you enjoyed hanging out with this blue dinosaur today, please hit that like button. Leave a comment, even just a heart means the world. And subscribe so we can spend more time together.